Hi Libra, welcome to your mid-October 2018 Tarot and Astrology reading. I forgot what month it was even though I've got a pumpkin behind me. Sure. So, first things first, Venus is still retrograding in the sign of Scorpio. It's gained up some momentum. It's going to be retrograding back into your sign on Halloween. And whenever Venus is retrograding in your sign, take it from me because I'm a Scorpio, the energy is strange. I think it's in your first house. I think it takes a long time. I think it's like 8 years or something like that for it to be in your sign. But I mean, Venus retrograding in Libra, which is the sign that it rules, is kind of a double whammy for everyone in romance, I guess. But whenever it's retrograding in your first house and you are a Libra and you're dealing with Venus, your own ruler, going retrograde in your first house, you could be feeling like you're having somewhat of an identity crisis. You could feel like you aren't entirely certain of who you are and what you want. You could be acting very differently to what people expect of you. So people might sort of, for want of a better phrase, they might be doing that whole "you've changed" thing. But it's not a permanent change. It is just reassessing what matters, and sort of facing yourself in an uncomfortable way. Actually, it can be very much like looking in a very unflattering mirror, but it won't be there for that long. I mean, it goes direct on the 16th of November, and I think it leaves your sign. Then you get another chance of Venus in your sign, which is a good thing. So it'll only be retrograding in your side of the sky for 2 weeks, which is not bad. It's still your ruler, but it's not bad. And it's more of a reflective energy. And with the full moon in Taurus, which is of course your 8th house of hidden secrets in others, more so than 12th house energy, which is more the secrets within you, it can sort of illuminate to you the parts of a partner or a relationship in your life where you didn't know certain things that you thought you did, and you were maybe taking it for granted that you knew all the information. And to be honest, a full moon, because this will be the first full moon during the Venus retrograde period, it can be very enlightening, and it can be a little bit surprising with Uranus there too. It can really make you think you're caught off guard in certain ways. And if you're feeling a little bit fragile under this energy, or you're feeling a little bit confused, don't worry, because it is just it's like a repair. Okay, so it's like repairing you for something better, because when Venus re-enters your sign and then it goes direct on the 16th, you're going to be feeling a lot more traditional Libra, like Libra 2.0. Okay, so I'm going to draw a guidance card, and I felt like I needed to go over that with you guys because I have had Venus retrograding in Scorpio, and I am a Scorpio, and I understand the energy of it. I also have Venus in Libra in the 7th house, so I get, Venus is quite important to me, so I understand the energy. Compassion, Kuan Yin. Release judgments about yourself and others and focus on the love and light that is within everyone. Okay, so be patient with yourself and be patient with everyone else. Can you actually see the... No, it'll probably be back to front anyway. I think my sign is probably back to front. It probably says oob. Yeah. Okay. So, let's see what we've got for Libra end of October. Also, as the sun shifts into your financial sector, we're going to be seeing some movement there. Venus has been retrograding that side of the sky for you, but now it's getting a bit of momentum and a bit of traction. We have Mercury there. So in terms of asking, because I think you would be better if you want to ask for a raise or you want to search for a new job, try December, because Mercury will be going direct because it's going to retrograde. But that's going to be nothing compared to this year of retrogrades. Ask in December, because I think there could be a really good chance at money for you in December. Jupiter has been in your financial sector for most of the year, so it should have been a good year for money. If it's not been, check the other aspects of your chart. Maybe Jupiter in Sagittarius will actually be more beneficial because it'll be in your third house of communications, and you'll ask for what you want more so than just expect it. You know what I mean? In fact, Page of Pentacles asking for a raise or financial influence. Now I will move the camera so you will see what we have. The Fool, King of Wands. So already we've kind of got an Aries, but we'll see. King of Cups could be a water sign. He's helping you out though. Challenge. And the King of Swords! No way, we have 3 kings in a row. What is this? 4 kings! And the 5 of Cups. Libra! Okay, I'm going to move the camera so that you can see these cards. And we'll talk about the 4 kings. 4 kings. Not spooning. 4 kings. Talk to you in a second. So Libra, how many men does it take to screw in a light bulb is one thing I'm looking at when I see these kings. So this is a lot of male energy. A lot. Maybe some of you are working with a lot of men. Maybe there's male dominance. Maybe there's even, in a negative aspect, there could be misogyny. To say the King of Swords is a challenge. He could be quite power hungry. He could be quite sharp. Either way, there seems to be a lot of men in your life, but there's also a very powerful energy with this. I mean, 4 kings, that is real mastery. That's controlling a situation to a very fine art. High achievements. Especially with the King of Pentacles as the outcome. Now, jeepers. Okay, so I want to make one thing very specific here. If you're dealing with another air sign, I can see problems. If you're dealing with a water sign, there's actually some good energy. But a lot of you are dealing with a Pentacles energy person for, I'm not entirely sure what the conclusion is. I just know that the King of Cups is in the positive position, the King of Swords in the challenge. I'm going to go over this again 2 more times so we have more clarity. I think a lot of you are dealing with an Aries person, at least at present. So this reading speaks to me a lot about wisdom. And to an extent, there's very favorable assertive energy, especially career-wise. This to me looks a lot like success. A lot of people are involved in a situation working to make something happen. Okay, so some of you, the onus, I get this with your ruler being retrograde, the onus of this is on your relationships. Very much so, with other people. And it's funny, because this guy's crying over 3 cups, but there's still a love offer here. So it could be that you're bothered. It could be that you've 3 distinct failed relationships and you've got a new one on the go. I don't know. There's a lot of people in this energy. So maybe Venus, when it retrogrades back into Libra, a lot of people do return from the past. And I would sincerely suggest that is more than one person for you, or you're at least dealing with more than one person at the moment. But this could be in multiple ways. It doesn't have to be romantic. The clarifying cards might clear that up. To be honest, it looks a lot like your emotions are better aspected than your rational thinking. I think some of you are dealing with a Capricorn too. This is the devil. I've never seen that happen. 4 kings in a row. And I use this deck all the time. I've used it for all the readings. It's not like they're all sitting together. Do you know what I mean? Okay, there is somebody returning. Possibly an Aries. In fact, do you know what? It doesn't have to be somebody returning, just an FYI, because I think that can maybe be overused a bit. It doesn't always have to be, but it can be thinking about the past, which is common during Venus retrograde. Now, I'm thinking a lot of you could be thinking about an Aries from the past or hearing from an Aries from the past because there is a page here with communication, but it could be communication from a fire sign or even an Aquarius. This King of Cups is with the Two of Pentacles, so maybe somebody had to make a decision about you and somebody else, or you had to make a decision about two people. In fact, you might have had to make a decision about four. I don't know. It could be there's some sort of balancing thing with the Two of Pentacles. Maybe you had to decide for two you're definitely dealing with an Aquarius, some of you, or someone with a moon in Aquarius or rising in Aquarius. That's with the King of Pentacles, or the Knight of Pentacles. So for those of you that are single, I can see an earth sign person possibly coming in. Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. Underneath we have the Tower, so something was built not to last, and it's almost like something has maybe collapsed and all these people are stepping in to support you, Libra. That's the way I'm seeing this. You have a lot of support and you have a lot of people coming out of the woodwork to support you in an endeavor. And it could actually be that somebody is maybe returning from the past. It's not necessarily a lover. It could be someone returning from traveling. It could be somebody returning from an extended period at in another city. I think because the Fool and the Six of Cups are kind of contradictory, right? The Six of Cups is sort of harking to the past, nostalgia. The Fool's about beginning a new journey. Maybe you're trying to begin something new, but you've got this little inkling feeling that somebody's not meant to be in the past fully, or somebody's meant to return, or they're just somebody you maybe can't get over. I do feel like it was possibly a relationship has possibly gone or is currently in the midst of going whereby you felt the other person shared an indecisive attitude and it was tiring you out. I also sense if you're dealing with an Aquarius, this might have been an issue of bad timing. There might have been external circumstances. Circumstances that just weren't meant to be right now. So there could be bad timing here for some Libras. A lot of the time, I think the Tower kind of represents that. I know that people sort of see the Tower as like everything crumbling and going wrong. I have a different perspective in that sense. I don't think it's as permanent. I've seen it happen for a lot of people when they were just moving in the wrong direction in terms of doing things a certain way, and then the Tower moment happened, and then they started over in the same project, and it lasted longer. So, I'm skeptical of labeling it so negatively, but I guess like everyone to their own. I just see something was to do with bad timing, and it could have been with a fellow air sign, or it could have been a project that didn't get off the ground because the timing wasn't right. And also, Libra, when Venus, your ruler, is retrograde, the timing's not great to start anything new, and it's not great to start trying to fix everything either. It's more about reflecting rather than acting. And I kind of feel a little bit like maybe if you really want to make a decision right now, make sure that it's very, very, very carefully thought through. Okay? There's no rush here. In fact, to be honest, Libra, with Pentacles energy, a lot of it is to do with being more methodical and going at a more solid pace. Some of you were definitely in a toxic relationship in the past that you're trying to move on from, and maybe you've heard something about the person, or they've heard something you're doing, and they've maybe been doing certain things to get your attention. I don't know, but you have hope surrounding a fire sign, I think. To be honest, this also, Libra, looks a lot like hope surrounding career. So maybe a dream has been realized. We have Justice here, so there is some karma affecting a water sign in your life. Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. Something seems to be working divinely here in your favor. Karma is being restored. Maybe a karmic debt has been repaid actually with the Wheel of Fortune. And the Five of Pentacles. So maybe somebody suddenly left your life that was an air sign. Or it could have just been somebody that's not very forthcoming about their feelings, because the King of Swords is that kind of way. But somebody that wronged you in the past, I think, You're this is very strange and it sounds kind of vengeful, but somebody that wronged you in the past, the karma they're getting, they're getting theirs and you're going to hear about it. So I don't know if maybe somebody that, say for example, somebody cheated on you in the past, you hear in their current relationship that they've been cheated on, or the other person left them, after they were cruel to you, that kind of thing. I don't endorse waiting around for people to get their karma because I think it's better for you to move on and be happy. And I know that's a very strange thing to hear from a Scorpio, I suppose. But this focuses more about you being happy rather than worrying what somebody else is doing, right? Because there seems to be an onus here on a lot of energies. Page of Pentacles. So, Libra. I kind of get this weird vibe from a Capricorn. It's not entirely positive. And I have to be honest with that because I see the devil here. Okay, which is Capricorn energy, and then I see an earth sign with the influence of the Seven of Swords. I don't know if there's bad timing here. It's confusing because there's so many kings, but I'm going to try and put them out as specific as I can. Okay, so Libra, I feel this has to be a certain way. If you're dealing with a fire sign person, okay, so if you're dealing with a Leo, a Sagittarius, or an Aries, and I'm going to get to each one individually. If you're dealing with them, I feel a lot like there's hope in this situation in terms of communication. I feel like communication could be restored with a fire sign for the better. I don't get bad vibes from the fire sign. I actually think it could be somebody who's very positive. And this could incredibly be linked to your career in terms of a wish coming true career-wise, okay? That's what I'm seeing with a fire sign. But I'm seeing a sparkle of hope with that person. If you're dealing with a water sign, similarly, like a Scorpio, a Cancer, or a Pisces, I'm seeing fairness and I'm seeing them sort of relate to your needs as a person because the Justice is your card and you need to have balanced relationships. And I see this a person as being willing to have give and take, somebody who's willing to listen to your feelings and work with them, and someone who puts in as much effort as you do. And there's a very balanced negotiation here. Even if they had to weigh up the pros and cons between you and somebody else at some point, I feel like it would be you that they choose, okay? Because justice is in your favor, so karma is good with this person. On the other hand, if you're dealing with an air sign with the Wheel of Fortune, there seems to be bad timing, or like they mysteriously disappeared. So if you're dealing with an Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra, there could be issues of timing with this person. So either they've had to move, you've had to move, finances aren't great, and you can't invest in a new relationship with this person at the time because you just don't feel like you're in a better place and you have to work on yourself, or they could be that way. It's especially true if it's an Aquarius. I just sense that there seems to be some sort of coldness between the two of you, and this is all down to fate. So I think with the Wheel of Fortune, this kind of reminds me of the planet Uranus, which rules Aquarius, conjuncting the moon. Maybe something comes out about this person, or this person act suddenly. They suddenly have left, or they suddenly react funny to a situation. But timing seems to be the issue here. And as I said, with the tower that came out underneath a moment ago, sometimes timing is off just so we can do it at the better. It's not the right time to do something. It's meant for you in the future. So it could be the case with this air sign. There could be something in the future. But for a lot of you, I feel like this is maybe you letting go of an air sign. Possibly from the past. Okay, so they've maybe come back around just to do the same thing again, and you've had enough of them, so you're finally releasing them under your Venus retrograde. Now, an earth sign, this is where the confusion is lying for me, because Mr. King of Pentacles here is usually very reliable and very, dependable. But the Seven of Swords suggests to me that either you're keeping something from them or they're keeping something from you, or you've maybe been shortchanged over something in the workplace, or you maybe hear something about this person or suspect them of something. Similarly, if we're talking about the home, make sure that you're extra careful about who's coming in and out of it. If you have, for example, contractors coming in and out of it, just be wary of your belongings. And I have to say that because the Pentacles and the Seven of Swords can sometimes mean somebody taking financially from you. Okay, so this could be in the workplace too. Now, this doesn't mean that if you're dating a Capricorn or an Earth sign, they're necessarily lying about something massive. It could be that they're withholding their feelings. I'm actually going to clarify because I don't like leaving readings on the Seven of Swords. It's kind of strange. It could be that you're both withholding information from each other, actually, to be honest. Let me see. Well, that one. Oh, Seven of Cups. Interesting. Yeah, there's an element of mistrust for some reason. And I'm kind of wondering, Libra, just because this is your reading and because there's 4 kings, do you maybe have more options than you're letting on, and one of the person you're involved with is maybe not for it? I feel like you've got options. And maybe you want to go with the tried and true method. Maybe you're in a relationship and you thought this person was your soulmate or your twin flame, or you just thought they were meant to be in your life for whatever reason. I think soulmate with the 6 of Cups. And you started out with good feelings and now you're wondering, would there be more elsewhere? But this is probably only if something is negatively affecting the timing of the relationship. Because if you're a cross watcher and you're watching this and you want to know what your Libra's up to, just remember this can go multiple ways and it's for multiple people. It doesn't necessarily mean worst case scenario, because that's 100% not what I'm getting at. It's more to do with considering options but needing to be honest, okay? So by options, I mean maybe you are in a strange circumstance of a relationship where there are external factors affecting this, and you need to make sure that everything's fair and communicated and above board. And that's going both ways, because the Wheel of Fortune seems to be throwing you some negative circumstances in terms of a relationship, or tricky circumstances, and you have to navigate those honestly. You and the other person have to be very honest with each other, is the message that I'm sort of seeing from this. Especially if you're dealing with an earth sign, make sure that all the cards are on the table and you're in the same spot in terms of what you both want from a relationship. So I think that just about covers it, Libra. And I remember, Venus moves into your sign and it goes direct again. Things are going to improve. It's just this full moon seems to be a little bit of a tricky one in terms of relationships. But just remember, if you're honest and fair, because your karma is being questioned here, it's not questioned, isn't it? It's making you reassess yourself. It's just letting you know that everything is being very quick to react. So what you're putting out into the world, you're getting back very quickly. Do you know what I mean? So just be wary of the 7 of Swords, because trying to get away with something or trying to get away with not talking about something could end up biting you a bit more than usual. So just be mindful of it, Libra. It's nothing to really worry about as long as you're doing the right thing and you know the other person is. You should survive Venus retrograde. But just don't try and run away from anything if you need to, really give it your attention. So I hope you enjoyed that reading, Libra. Let me know and I will see you in November. Bye.